All right. Welcome back to a special episode of both the Green Law Book and Military Retirement Podcast. I'm usually
welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, John is usually on here on Sundays, and sure enough, you're here in the States, man. So glad to have you, dude.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Unfortunately, I'll probably be on the air again tomorrow, or Sunday. So it's.
In the air, meaning in a plane, not on the live stream.
In a plane, not on air, but in the air.
Okay, gotcha. That's good, man. Well, I'm glad you're getting stuff done there. I see a few folks in here in the comments. Oliver Rust, my man, Oliver Rust is doing good things. He's moving to the Philippines pretty soon. We always talk about it. His fiance or his wife or somebody is a martial arts instructor of some sort, so she can kick his ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll tell you, John, man, I wanted to do this one. I mean, we were talking earlier about some admin stuff, right? And about calendars and all that stuff, and potentially bringing on new guests and all that, and guests that we do have coming up. And I thought, you know what? How about we do some like live questions and answers on things that maybe are happening in the veteran sphere. And you were all about it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. I love talking about veteran stuff, answering veteran questions, interacting with veterans. I've been doing a lot of that on and off as I've been here in Vegas this week, and it's been cool. It's been cool to be back on the ground.
Hell yeah. I love that, man. So let me see who we got in here. Howdy, Oliver Rush. Howdy, man. Everything's good on our side. Everything's good on our side. So yeah, in the description, I put a few questions like, hey, things that boggle the mind, right? Why do Marines eat crayons? Why does the Army and the Navy have 1,000 different uniforms? I can never keep up with that trash, So what is it? 80 or ADUs and BDUs and what else do you guys have?
DCUs, ACUs,
bro. Anytime I'd go to one of these Army courses, every year it's a different freaking uniform, and the Navy too. I don't know. Like now, I went to some Navy facility out here on the Navy base, and there was now they have tan uniforms. I forgot what they call them. If somebody in the comments knows, what do they call those all tan uniforms? I think the officers wear. It looks like they're in some kind of prison uniform.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. But every year, dude, it changes every year. And I'm like, for 20 years, I was wearing the same thing. Went from tan uniforms, desert marine pattern, to woodland marine pattern. When you deploy, you wear the desert marine pattern. When you're back in garrison, in the fleet or whatever, you wear your green. It never really changed. It never changed. Only when I washed it, and I never replaced my camis for years on end.
No, not a helicopter pilot. Not at all.
He looks like a pilot.
I look like a pilot. I could be mistaken for a pilot, but no, technical warrant. So all things cyber.
Yeah. So
I wish I was a pilot.
That'd be cool. You could still use your GI Bill or VRNE to become a pilot.
Good.
I think you could. Yeah. All right. So let me see here. So we're going to answer some questions on the live stream here. I lurk on Facebook and Reddit all the time, and I'm like, you know what? Some of these folks really got some good questions that I think that we can answer here. And if you've seen any of my videos over on the Green Law Book, you know that I've already been kind of doing something like that, where I'm just kind of answering some questions, some legit questions that folks have about life, about retirement, about military to civilian transition. And that's what we're all about today. So there's this one here. I wanted to bring it up. What's the best way to do this? Like I share the screen, right? Or maybe I could share it. Let me take a photo of the. I don't know if I want to. Everything's happening at one time. What's happening? All right, share the screen. Army ruined. Here we go. And this one's a fun one. I don't know if y'all can see it. How do I go in closer here? Control.
You can either zoom in with the touchpad or control and arrow up, maybe. Tony Slaughter, what up?
There we go. There we go. So this one's a fun one. The Army ruined camping for me. My sister wants to go camping as a family this year. I told her, no, I'm never going camping again after what the Army put me through. She's a bit upset. I refuse to go camping with the family this summer. The Army has completely ruined all camping experiences for me. I'm still scarred from NTC, JRTC, and HTA from the same time, from my time in service. Now, I don't know what these things are, what NTC, JRTC, or HTA are. Are those like Army-centric things?
Those are rotations out in, so NTC should be out in the sandbox in California. It's the National Training Center, I believe. The JRTC is the Joint Readiness Training Center in the East Coast somewhere. And then they have one in Germany as well.
Okay. So I don't know, man. I don't know how to answer this one because I still enjoy camping, though you won't find me in like shelter halves and drinking coffee out of a jet boil unless I'm like really roughing it. Yeah, you won't find me. You'll find me camping every so often. I truly enjoy that. I'll tell you that the one time, John, that I went where it kind of did ruin it for me was sleeping on those ISO mats in the field and then waking up. This was in Virginia, waking up and removing my ISO mat and seeing like some kind of black and yellow snake under my ISO mat. And I'm like, yeah, oh, what exactly? I'm glad I was inside the damn my sleeping bag, right? But yeah, that kind of sends a shiver down my spine, man.
I feel like the Army trained me. Well, I mean, I was camping before I went in the Army, so I've been camping my whole life pretty much, from Boy Scouts and all that stuff, Scouts, Boy Scouts, and then normal transition into the military. I feel like it was a natural transition. I'm a sucker for give me 2 trees and a hammock, man. Like seriously, let me say I'd done that on a Space Safe flight once, on a big one, a C5. And they had some equipment and stuff in the middle, and I just stood up the hammock because I saw like 20 other people with hammocks. I was like, all right, cool. I love hammocks.
I agree, man. And I'll tell you, when I lived out in Hawaii, like I mentioned, I have some family, a lot of family out in Hawaii, and we went, and these folks live maybe 2 blocks from the beach, so we just kind of went down there to the beach, and when I rode out there from my house, they had told me, hey, bring your sleeping bag. And I'm like, oh, are we sleeping on the beach? They're like, yeah, we're sleeping on the beach tonight. I'm like, oh, no crap. All right. So I guess it was an all day thing, like hang out, barbecue, music, go swimming. And sure enough, sleep on the beach. And it was freaking cold, man. But I mean, it was beautiful, but it was cold, dude. And this is in Hawaii. So Oliver Rust, shelter half, strike 2. Oh man, did I trigger something there, Oliver Rust? You don't like the tent poles and everything that goes along with connecting all these things? They really did give us some old ass equipment, dude. I remember that.
Shelter halves were canvas too, canvas shelter halves and like wooden stakes.
Terrible, dude. Terrible.
Disgusting.
Tony Slaughter. Oh man, Vic, I had a guy escape from before my fire watch on PI. And took the ISO mat and some crackers from the chow. we had a dude. You've seen Full Metal Jacket, yeah? You got to have, yeah. So that guy was a professor, or not professor, recruit. Forgot he had a donut. The big guy, right? He had a donut.
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio, this character, he had a donut in his Foot Locker. So we had an issue like that when I was in boot camp, where there was a guy who had cookies in his Foot Locker, and I'll never forget it because that prompted these drill instructors to dump everybody's Foot Locker. Everybody dump your Foot Locker, and I had just arranged mine, and I'm like, damn it, man. Everything was nice and neat and stuff. So as we dumped our Foot Lockers, they went around and they're like, hey, just march, do a wagon wheel. You essentially march in a circle and you're kicking everybody's stuff into everybody else's stuff. So nobody knows who's what. And they're like, hey, put on your boots. Okay, well, I don't have the right size for my boot anymore. So I don't know. I'm wearing somebody else's boot here. Terrible.
I heard that actually banned that, like where they used to come in and flip during boot camp, at least, or basic training, they used to come and flip the room upside down. And I heard they've banned that, like they can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can see pictures of it, right? I went through the whole thing. I'm sure they banned it, right? Because it was, for one, it's a pain to clean up, and I don't know. I guess it could be considered hazing.
Yeah,
maybe hazing. So let me go to another one here. Oh, where are we? Okay. Oh, my saved ones here. I got a bunch of them saved. Okay, here's a good one. Let me make sure I zoom in so my name isn't all shown and all that good stuff. Nobody wants to know who I am. It's probably easier if I just take a photo of this thing and just put a photo up there. Yeah, so let me do that then. Capture it.
I got a million tabs in the background. I got to get rid of these. Nope.
Oh, dude, you and me too, man. Same.
That's why everything's slow.
Yeah.
All right. No tabs. The floor was tossed. Yeah, my whole barracks room was tossed. I actually had to help because I was on quarters in basic for 2 days or something for a molar. And the drill instructor came in. He's like, look, go down to DFAC and go tell him you need my damn carrot cake and bring it back up here. And I got back up there with full carrot cake. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to leave. I'm going to take these trips out and do some shit. I want you to take all these books and flip them over. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you better get to it right now. I was like,
these cats made no sense, man.
No sense at all.
Quick story. I had a guy from Cuba who had he was from Miami, but he had just moved from Cuba to Miami. He was in my platoon, and the funniest thing, dude, my man's first name was Hebert, Heybert, but it was spelled Hgay. It was Spanish, right? So Gaybert, Hebert, pronounced Hebert.
Yeah.
And the drill instructor, I'll never forget how much I tried to hold in my laugh. He's taking like some kind of role, like our first week there. He's like, and he says the guy's name. He's like, first name, what's your friend? He goes, Hebert, sir. He's like, but it says Gaybert here. He's like, your name's Gaybert? He's like, it's pronounced Hebert, sir. So that shit I was laughing, dude. It was hilarious. But we became good friends after that. I'm like, Hebert, can't be having names like that, bro.
Delaney Gomez. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. Hello.
Untrackable. Good morning. Food service, my favorite people. Food spoons from above. If you're a food service tech and you go airborne, spoons from above.
Yeah. Untrackable actually jumped on the live stream last time. Oh, good dude, man. Food service guy. We were talking about it. We were talking how it is such a morale booster when you're out in the field for days eating, MREs and stuff like that. And then hot chow comes through. And I'm like, oh, yes. So Untrackable, man, you are the man. And then what's Charleston Zimmerman saying here? Do Marines still do hazing, like tacking the chest pin of rifle quals? Navy used to tack the crow on the sleeve when you made petty officer U4. So I will say that I I can neither confirm nor deny any of that. However, that stopped a while back. I'm sure it still happens behind closed doors. Same as when you pick up E4. When you pick up E4, and I think the statute of limitations has passed on this, so I'll share a little tidbit here. When I picked up E4 and I got my blood stripe, right? You know, that red stripe on your trousers. Yeah. So what they do is sometimes it may or may not have happened to me, but they may take you in behind closed doors, and then you get kneed in the side of the leg, kind of giving you dead leg per se. And it's hard to stand up. It's hard to go to PT the next day. So, but that's what happens sometimes, you know, that behind the door hazing. So however, when people still get promoted to this day, you know, as kind of like the old school thing, when you pin on, at least in the Marine Corps, sometimes they will. It used to be where they kind of hit you right here in the collarbone, so it'll stick in there.
Yep.
But sometimes now, even after you get promoted, they won't do it hard. It's just kind of like a sign of the old times where they'll kind of slap the thing on there, or they'll kind of
do it with open palms.
Yeah, open palms, or just like lightly tap it like that. So I recall when I was at a promotion ceremony and the colonel was like the promoting officer, and somebody did that, and he's like, "Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that."
Time out. Hold on. Wait a minute. Pause.
Oh,
I had
man.
a guy who actually got his collarbone broke because they hit him so hard with the blood ranks.
Oh, damn!
They like cracked his collarbone because it was a big dude that did it too. He was like 6'8", 300 pounds.
Coming down with the wrath of Thor, huh? Just wow. Yeah, that's probably not going to work out well. And at that point, when you do it like that hard, you're unserviceable because you are, you know, you got to go to medical and recover. So it's probably, yeah, right. Takes you out of the fight. What do you say? My drill instructor told me I wouldn't recognize my mother because he shaved her back. Damn. That's a ruthless drill instructor there, man. So I want to, and Tony Slaughter, man, or Oliver Russell, excuse me. I want to bring this up to the screen here. So let's, how do I do that? Remove, add to stage. Here we go. Desperately need help. This is from an Air Force veteran. My spouse and I are both veterans. I've adjusted well, went to therapy, and have been doing just fine as a civilian. My spouse is severely depressed, lost their job, can't work. We have a couple kids with another on the way. I've been working like crazy while also attending school just to keep us afloat. We both have disability payments, but my spouse's isn't enough to make a bigger contribution like mine does. I'm not sure how to help. We've tried applying for over 200 jobs, getting mental health help, and got turned away. Tired getting them into school, have to wait until August. They're a shell of themselves. Sits home in the dark all day, doing nothing or just sleeps. I can't even get them to go on a family walk with us. I've tried everything. I've broken down a couple of times at work because I don't know how to go home to them. What do I do? That's a very realistic situation. How would you handle that, John?
Yeah, I actually answered it. If you scroll down, maybe in the comments below that post, I actually saw that one come up on my radar. I see them; they come up all the time because I get an email notification, then I get a notification regularly from Reddit for some of these things, especially veterans, disability, and R/Army, and some other ones that I subscribe to. So my answer kind of basically said, look, you got to kind of meet them where they're at. If you have a spouse or a significant other or a loved one who's kind of shut down and closed off, especially another veteran, you have to try to meet them where they're at, man. It's one thing to try to like coax somebody and like ask them to do this and ask them to do that, and they don't want to do it. Like I think I said in the comment that I made was maybe try not creating events to be able to take them out of what they're thinking or what they're feeling, but maybe just try to sit down with them and meet them where they're at. Like if they're sitting on the couch for 5 hours watching TV, maybe just sit there with them. Maybe sit there with them and try to open up the conversation just about what they're feeling, what they want to talk about, not really steering the conversation so much, and leave a lot of empty space in between, like kind of like we do when we do interviews and stuff like that. A lot is we'll leave an extra few seconds of silence just for the person to go deeper on the subject, on the topic that they're trying to discuss. And that allows people to open up. It allows you to create a better sense of trust with that person, and then gradually kind of build up to like, hey, maybe we should take a walk, or hey, I'm kind of bored, I'm going to go take a walk. You want to come with me? Those kind of things. I would meet them where they're at first and foremost. I think the second thing I addressed was the schooling thing. Like this is a perfect opportunity and a perfect example of where you can reach out to a thing like VR&E and see if they can potentially find a schooling place for you. But if not, they are there for veterans readiness and rehabilitation and employment. So if you're trying to find a job and you don't know what you want to do, or you do know what you want to do, or you want to change paths completely, like VR&E is the way to go. And if they do allot you school, then it doesn't take out of your post 9/11 or MGIB if you have that. And that can give you potentially 4 good years of schooling and training. It'll give you additional 1 or 2 months potentially on the back end of additional monies after you're finished with your degree program. And they have the placement program, which is where they use their spider web network of people, and they can try to manipulate the system and massage the system to be able to get you into a position that you're potentially looking at, or positions that you're looking at. And it brings in, an extra couple $1,000 a month, depending on if you're full-time or part-time. You get that added kind of BAH stipend that comes along with it. They give you the package, which is something that Vic just recently did. I just recently sent mine in for that as well. Contacted my VR&E specialist and asked for a tech package and upgrade, because old Betsy here is getting kind of worn out and she's getting tired and she needs a replacement. So I reached out to my VR&E specialist, and he was like, yeah, absolutely. And at first he was going to just have me go buy the stuff from, say, the Nex or the PX or the Exchange on base, and get that kind of really good 2 or 3 year warranty program on it, and then send them the bill so they could just reimburse me. But I told him like, hey, I'll be back in the States. And he was like, well, that's perfect. Let me get something together. He's like, 'cause from my end, if I buy it from my end, I can spend a little bit more money and get you something a little bit more robust. I'll just send it to wherever you want to send it to. If you want me to send it to the hotel, or I can send it to a relative or whatever, you can pick it up and then take it back with you to the States, because it's hard to buy electronics and ship them overseas. So that part of it, for the education part of it or getting a job part of it, VR&E is where I would go. I would 100% reach out to them today and start getting that process going, because it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of paperwork and a little bit of research. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and I do like what you mentioned, man, is meet them where they are. And a lot of times with when you're dealing with somebody who is going through a depressive state, the last thing that they want to hear is, you should go outside, or you should do this, you should do that. It's the last thing I would want to hear, like, hey, kind of leave me alone, that type of thing. But slowly introducing them to something like different environments, different ideas, I think would probably work out a little bit, and getting to the root cause of it too. So my suggestion would be, especially if they're kind of missing potentially their old life, get into volunteering with veteran organizations, kind of give you a purpose of service towards something bigger than yourself, right? There's tons. You can go on LinkedIn and find tons of veteran organizations, and a lot of them need volunteers. A lot of them need help. And that would be my first route into getting this person out of that slump. Hey, you know what? A lot of us go through it when we leave the uniform. We're so used to one way of life for so long, and then bam, all of a sudden you're introduced to something new. It's like, I attribute it to like you watch Jurassic Park. There's Indominus Rex. What's that guy say? Chris Pratt's like, he's seeing all this for the first time. He's freaking going crazy, right? Yeah. So we are the Indominus Rex of of the world. We're seeing all this kind of, for the first time. But how you adjust, you don't have to go and rip everybody's head off and go fight with T-Rex. How you adjust matters. And you're going to go through ups and downs and depressive states and things like that. But that doesn't mean that's the end. It's just a matter of finding out what works for you. And potentially for me, it was volunteering with veteran organizations, giving back to something else and seeing the end result, right? Like, oh, we're literally helping these homeless veterans here. Like I went to a stand down. I volunteered at the Veterans Village of San Diego. I walked around. There's literally veterans and barbers giving haircuts to homeless people right on the spot. There are literally dentists who volunteer to do dental work for homeless veterans on the spot. Like there's a waiting room inside of a tent and all that stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I love volunteering with things like that. I volunteered to help out like the kids tent. So it was like, I was going crazy in there, but it was cool, right? It was cool. While the parents are getting these services, I was just kind of like helping out, playing ball with the kids and stuff like that, and then just bounce around to different areas. So very, very good way to contribute to get out of that depressive slump, I think.
Yeah. And also just be patient. It takes time, right? Not everybody takes it the same way. Obviously, this is a household with two veterans who came out of service, right? Who took it in two completely different directions. So you just got to be patient. You got to give it time, give people this space they need to get through it. It's almost like the 5 steps of coping with the loss of somebody, 5 steps of grieving.
And the part that they mentioned on here too, we've been tired, or I think they meant we've tried applying for over 200 jobs. That's kind of a real situation these days. I've applied to many jobs as well and get the rejection letter all the time, or the rejection email, thinking that I'm a shoo-in for a lot of these. You don't know how many other people are probably applying for the same thing. And potentially they could have somebody in the chute already for that same job. So I think networking and getting to know people goes a long way as well. And the next thing here, getting mental health help got turned away. I'm also curious about the reasons behind that. Like you shouldn't get turned away, especially if you're going through the VA or something like that. You should probably either go again or seek another doctor, or talk to maybe a supervisor. Hey, why are we being turned away when we need this stuff? That's what the VA is there for. I'm assuming that there's a little bit more to that story. And if anybody has any comments or anything like that, put it into the chat here. Let me see. I got another one. These are great, man. I love checking that. I'm on Reddit all the freaking time, reading about this stuff. Share. Oh, here we go. Image. After all this time, I'm still trying to figure out how to work this stuff. Untrackable says, hurt people, but teammates step up. I like that, man. So true. And I'm glad that person posted that question in there, because they are the teammate, right? They're the spouse. They're trying to figure out how to help this person out. So truly appreciate that. I don't have civilian friends, but I help veterans. Yeah. sometimes it's hard, right? It's hard to have friends outside of the scope of where you came from. Um, it was hard for me too. Like I don't have many friends as it is. I just have a tight circle of people that I talk to mostly, probably once or twice a week, maybe. Um, maybe one of those people is a civilian. You know, I myself I'm in kind of the same boat almost. Let's bring this other one up here. Add to the stage. Can we read that? Is it legible?
Yeah, looks good.
All right. Let's see here. Let me make it a little bit bigger on my side. I started this job after retirement, or the title is Need Some Mentoring After Retirement with New Job. I started this job after retirement. I was so excited. My first opportunity to become a contractor after the military and just be a regular civilian. My PWS required me to get a certification and specific training within a certain amount of time. Done. It's been a few months now, and I still haven't been onboarded, and my supervisor still hasn't had a one-on-one with me. I haven't been given a rundown on what the expectations are for daily, weekly, or monthly goals. Don't worry, I have asked, to the point where I started making people mad at me. I've had to back off. A few weeks ago, my so-called supervisor approached me and accused me of doing something that was absolutely untrue. I had to explain 3 times that it wasn't me, and these are the people they need to have a conversation with. I'm not involved in meetings, projects, planning, nothing. I'm the last to know anything and only find out through word of mouth. My supervisor has even told me, you're no longer this, and you need to remember that. I come into work every day and do absolutely nothing. There's only so much surfing online that can be done. That's not job related. Is it even worth it to make money and do nothing, to not have a purpose, to be included in your work environment? I can't fight against people who clearly have power over the place and make them give me direction. Please, help, please. I don't know what I don't know after retirement, but this doesn't feel right. That is another very real scenario. If you are a contractor, a civilian contractor after service, because you are there to do a job. You are not very involved in much of anything, right? So that was my experience as well when I was in a contracted position. Like my suggestions didn't really matter. I was there to execute a job, and that was it. You know, I don't know if you have any experience with that, John.
Yeah, I mean, I worked as a contractor for a few years as well, in a few different companies. And there was one particular company that I worked in that was kind of similar to this, not exactly the same, but it was really, and it was a matter of like driving 3 or 4 hours to get to the place where I go to work. I would actually stay there during the week, Monday through Friday, and drive back on the weekend. So it was 6 or 8 months of that back and forth. And it was really prepping to actually go downrange to Kuwait for a 1-year stint. And so they had us kind of in the whole pattern for like 6 or 7 or 8 months. And so I would drive from, say, I don't know, Gießen, Germany, which is above Frankfurt, all the way down to Stuttgart through the traffic on a, a Sunday night or whatever, Monday morning early, and then stay there for the week, go through the 15 badging and pin and whatever doors to get back to the office. And then literally just sit in the office for, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. The money was amazing, but they literally had us doing nothing. And I'm just the kind of person, I can't sit in an office like this person's saying here. I can't sit in an office, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week and do nothing. You can only surf so much. You can only, fold so many pieces of paper into origami animals. You can only flip and twist and turn so many pens, and solve so many Rubik's cubes. So, for me, it's, I think it's just a matter of figuring out what your priority is. Is the priority of the money? Is the priority of having the job? Is the priority of the staying in the location that you want, whether you had to move to that location for the job, or if you just want to stay there in that location and the job happens in the same location. figuring out what that priority is, and then realigning yourself with that priority, rather than just saying, okay, well, I'm checking the box to get the job, I'm checking the box to get the income, I'm checking the box to have the car payment and the house payment. Like, don't just check boxes. Figure out what your priorities are and what your values are, and align those with what you want to do. And if you're in a job that doesn't align with your values, then I would definitely consider looking for another position. Because me personally, I can only do so much of that. Like, I can only put the mask on for so many months or years, and then I have to get on with my life.
I'm the same way, man. I completely agree with that. There were so many times where I felt like I was going to reach the end of the internet, sitting there, and I'm like, I can't, because you're there for a job as a contractor. I mean, the money is great, right?
Yep.
But you're there for a purpose. You're like, just get this done, and then we'll come get you if we need you. We'll give you these tasks or whatever. And that was the gig. Some people are completely fine with that. Like, they don't have to do anything outside of what was expected of them. But a lot of us are like, hey, we want to be involved. We want to have some kind of skin in the game, right? Go to the meetings, give our opinions and thoughts, and make the organization better. And, especially if you're coming from a leadership position. And, a lot of times you won't find that in the contracting world. So I would say that, let me see here. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Yes, the contracting side is a good stepping stone to finding a job within that same organization. If you're doing a good job, network with people. Say, hey, look, if there's any openings, let me know. I did that exact same thing when I was a contractor. I talked to different departments, and I'm like, hey, look, if there's any openings, and they would send me the openings. However, I'm like, after a while, I was like, do I want to come back here? Do I want to be in the same thing, but just sitting at that desk instead of this one? So it was, you got to make that choice. Is just like you mentioned, are you after the money and the big payday, or do you want to feel like you're doing something of purpose? Because you can sit there like a robot and press buttons all day and do all that, but at the end of the day, I'll be honest, man, I went home as a contractor, and there were some days when I didn't do a lot, and I went home feeling like tired and burned out because I didn't do a lot. Yeah, exhausted, because I was like, man, I was actively trying to find things to do. At one point I was like, dude, I'm like stapling and restapling shit, and I'm like, well, and my boss is out doing something. I didn't see this person for like half the day. I'm like, I guess I'll just take the front of the binders off and then type it up with the new year and then put it in there. I mean, what else can you do, right? You got to find things to keep yourself busy. You can't leave the job. Like, you can, but you can't really, you can do quit on the same day, So yes, I feel that, man. I feel that it's tough as a contractor. If you can go in and get with the organization, if you're like maybe trying to get into the federal government or something like that, you can get like a by mouth or by name recommendation. That'll probably work out too. Let's see here.
66 T Love. What up?
66 T Love. What's going on? Good to have you. Yeah. So I saw a couple of folks out there, 66, and I think who else did I see? Maybe Tony Slaughter. I can't recall. Over at H-Town Vets live stream yesterday. I was jumped on his live stream. This guy runs a very, very good live stream. I like him. He's very personable, and he's actively engaging the audience and things like that. So he sent me over a link. I jumped on his live stream. It was good stuff. Good stuff. So I think I saw 660 Love there yesterday. John, I'm glad you clicked that, because I was just about to click that too. Is it true the Air Force guys eat Wagyu caviar for breakfast?
Only on Thursdays. Only on Thursdays.
Yeah. And I heard they get page 11s if they don't have their pinkies up.
Yeah.
So,
You must.
I heard that. Yeah, pinkies up. You got to sip like this.
make sure you take Gatorades with you when you leave DFAC, so you can put them in your man purse.
Your man purse, is that right? They took out the gas mask that goes on the side of your hip, and they put their what hairspray or whatever. You know, I make fun, man. I make fun.
Yeah.
My better half was in the Air Force, so I can poke fun all day, but she'll also give me stuff. And their little Air Force song is very catchy too. So I'll give it that. Very catchy.
Not TikTok catchy.
Oh,
almost.
Not TikTok catchy, man. I can't do the TikTok. I can't do the TikToks, man. I know somebody in this chat has a TikTok and they're dancing in the VA parking lot twerking. I know we talked a little bit about that.
Twerking at the VA.
Twerking at the VA. Just make a you don't have to show your face to show you twerking at the VA. Let me see here. I know we got another one here. Pull this thing up. Image.
Navy cop.
Navy cops in the house?
Nope.
Nope. Where did I just see that other one? Damn it.
If this thing had let me share anything, I would actually throw one up, but it's not letting me share things.
Okay, here's a good one here. I like this one. It's a good comment. Good question. Let me capture this and share it up on the screen here. If it will ever show up. Here we go. Civilian life. This is a good one. Civilian life. After 8.5 years active duty, I've been out for just over 4 years now. I still find myself getting frustrated with some of the simple things, like how a majority of civilians approach things versus how active duty and vets would approach things. Nothing is super concerning or major. It's more like a lot of little things. I don't know if this is me thing or if others relate heavily, but at what point does being a civilian feel easier? Anybody in the comments want to answer that? Please feel free. A few of the responses on here is when you learn how to adapt to the outside world. So I feel like vets or service members, we're not like one-trick ponies. We can adapt and overcome to most any situation. But when you get thrown into something with minimal, I guess, instruction on how to adapt, it's tough. There's an instruction for everything in the military. At least, in the Marine Corps, there was how you walk, talk, eat, there's an order for just about everything. There is not an order for how to be a civilian. So that is tough. You have to learn to adapt.
Yeah. And I mean,
the comments.
I don't think you'll ever fully adjust. Like, I don't know what the definition of fully adjust is, but I don't think you'll ever fully adjust to that. I think you can start to see and recognize and see patterns in things and see behavior that you're just going to have to start to accept as like, that's kind of the way civilians are, certain civilians, and the way that veterans are, most veterans. So yeah, it's kind of like knowing the secret handshake as you're walking around and you spot another veteran in the crowd and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. He gets me or she gets me. But other than that, I don't know if you'll ever get fully adjusted.
Yeah. And that's always going to stick with you. I mean, it's been a big part of your life too. When I am driving around, sometimes alone, and I won't say anything, it's just these thoughts in my mind. And I see somebody who's just diddy bopping down the road, diddy bopping meaning like just unmotivated, just kind of like, think of like Chuck Rock, like a knuckle dragger, just like, and I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, look at this motivator over here, just look at this look at this soup sandwich. These are things that go through my mind. Like that's never going to leave. I don't think, it's, the Marine Corps, at least in my eyes, was a big. There was a lot of judgment as soon as you walk, and I laugh about this now. I was just on a live stream with a active duty first sergeant. He jumped on the live stream, didn't show his face, but he laughed when I mentioned this. I'm like, when you walk into a room in the Marine Corps, and I'm sure other services have the same thing. When you walk into a room, you are immediately being judged. Look at this dude's hair. Look at this dude's uniform. He looks good, or he looks like a bag of whatever. You're immediately getting judged, and that always stays. So anytime I go somewhere, like, I got to make sure that my gig line is good to go. I got to make sure that, whatever, my face is all right. These days I don't really care, because I'm like, whatever, I'm retired now. But if I'm going to an interview, that stuff sticks with me. If I'm going out and I have to dress well, that stuff sticks with me. So, and I'm immediately judging. People say don't, but I'm like, okay, well, I can't leave that. That's never going to leave me. Okay. It's like, how remember Michael Scott in The Office, how he remembers people's names.
Yep.
He picks up a characteristic of who they are, and they're like, okay, mole face, this and that. That's what goes through my head, man. That's how it happens. But I don't know if everybody does that, but we have to learn to adjust. Exactly. I think somebody else mentioned it on here. 660 love. You have to adapt to the environment you're operating in at that time. Yeah. So you're not going to act a fool if you're going in for an interview, right? You gotta comport yourself. Let me see here. Yeah, somebody else put it on there. Best advice is to worry about what you can control. Yep. In most cases, that's yourself and not much else.
Yep.
People just want to get through the day.
Your life.
Yeah. People just want to get through the day and get home. That's it. Let me see if I got another one here, man. I think I might spend too much time on Reddit.
On Reddit. Yeah, and I mean that and then also, like, if you walk around with a good demeanor and you walk around with an open kind of personality, which most veterans don't, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird observation, but I mean, I've noticed it in the last week I've been here. I've been out of the States for a couple of years. So, like, a culture shock to me to be here, and I'm surrounded by not only regular people but also a million tourists, and I'm constantly walking behind people, in front of people, every day, it seems like. And I make it a habit to say good morning, say hi, open doors, hold doors. People look at me weird when I do it, but it jolts them out of whatever mind they're into, or whatever kind of like distraction they have on their minds, and it jolts them out of it, and they're like, oh, hi, good morning, oh, thank you, appreciate you holding the door for me, no problem, don't worry about it, it's cool. It's really, if you walk around with that kind of demeanor, and it's not easy, but if you try, like, you can actually force people to couple, in a certain way, and that carries on too, because it's a ripple effect of doing good deeds and stuff like that.
It is. I agree with that. Like, I'm very much into, I still say it every day to this day. I said it yesterday when I went to the bookstore. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. That type of thing. When somebody's older than me, right? I'm not going to call a 20-year-old that, but when somebody's older than me, hey, thank you, ma'am. And I understand that in this day and age, in 2026, that could be a little bit, maybe not taken the right way if you call the wrong person the wrong thing or whatever. But that's just how I was kind of raised, and especially in the military. When you see somebody older than you, or even like a veteran out there, like, sir, ma'am, and I pass it on to my kids, where that's what they say. That I have made it a point, like, hey, when you go to somebody else's house, thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am, that type of thing. You are my kid. You represent me as well, and your family and your family name. Do the right thing. Hold on a second. I'm looking at one of these comments here. Reading York, 1991. My nephew and his unit buddies are really, really considering leaving the Army. It's really, really bad, he said. Oh, I'm curious. What is bad? Like what? Like the leadership, the daily life, the chow, driving on base. Like what part of it is bad? Navy cop says it's the requirement to pull back and not get things done that are out of your job requirements and wait for the civilian whose job it is to get those things done. That frustrates me the most. Yeah. Yeah. Then you're like constantly push. Hey, do I do this? Do I do that? And they're slow. They're a little bit slower to do it where you just want to get things done. Mo Perspective. Welcome. Welcome. Mo's always on here. Yeah. She's a big supporter. Let me see here. Good stuff. All right. So let me pull up another one here. This one. This one's going to this next one is going to be interesting. I'm curious to get some perspectives on this one. This one's going to chap some asses, I think. And I read it and I'm like, okay, well, I read it on Reddit and I was I haven't responded to it yet. I saved it. And I'm like, man, I gotta put this up on the screen for everybody. So this is a good one here. We are too generous to our veterans. Okay. It says seriously. Now I'm not trying to, I know it says political on there. I'm not trying to take it politically. I just want to get your perspective on this, right? I don't care if you're left, right, black, yellow, brown, pink, whatever the hell you are. Seriously, we have a national holiday. They have an entire department of the federal government. They have their own hospital system. They get all sorts of benefits on top of all the constant praise they get by both political parties and the media. And it seems like there's just an endless number of nonprofits aimed at benefiting them and their families. Throw in the fact that the vast majority of veterans served in non-combat roles and didn't see action in a war. And then throw in the fact that even our combat veterans are basically fighting illegal wars for a globalist empire. And I think we're kind of overdoing it with the bennies and borderline worship. This one is like kind of towing the line, but it made me curious and it had me take a step back. I'm like, yes, not that we're too generous to our veterans. We do have a good set of benefits out there. A lot of them. GI Bill. We have, potentially Champ VA, TRICARE for life, and all these things for a reason. For a reason. Okay. I always see this one comment around there, floating around online. The recruiting office was open to anyone. And I'm like, yeah, it really was, right? I mean, some folks can't make it in because they may have medical issues or whatever, but can't really do much about that one. However, like, hey, feel free to raise your right hand if you want, join the service, get those benefits if you'd like. We veterans get the benefits because they served. They decided to raise their right hand and serve something bigger than themselves, potentially putting themselves at risk. Now, I understand that many veterans did not see combat, but there was always a potential to go to a hazardous area. Always a potential, right? So, me being military justice, I worked military justice for 20 years, and I'm like, I deployed, I had to go through training. I had to go to the machine gunners course and all that stuff, Humvee course and all that. I didn't, there's a potential for me to get hurt out there. So we are too generous to our veterans is the comment on here.
I mean, and I kind of got it in perspective this week when I was talking to a gentleman, and he's working for a company, one of the manufacturers, vendors that we work with from my side of the house, from my employment side of the house. And I was talking with him and I was like, you guys are really veteran friendly here. Like, it's really company you guys run here. He's like, it wasn't like that until about 4 years. It's like we got all these different specialized groups. Name off the group LGBTQ or like whatever the group happens to be. And he's like, we have all these specialized kind of categories and groups for people within our business. He's like, there wasn't really one for veterans. So I went to the the options manager. I went to the CEO and talked to them and asked them and said, how do we also then support veterans? Because we have a lot of veterans who work here. A lot of our customers have veteran, populations. Like my population, for example, is a lot of veterans. And so the CEO manager were like, yeah, we should totally do this. You should be in charge of it. Basically volunteered himself for it. And then since then, he's been getting, a little bit of funding from the company and funding from the city, and to be able to go out and support veteran events and go out and bring, a pallet of water bottles out to an event and just be to support. So I mean, look, there's literally in 2025, I believe, somewhere correctly, in 2025, in the year 2025, there were approximately 0.4% of the whole entire American population on active duty. If you include then National Guard, Reserves, Air Guard, and those members, that number slightly up to like 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. So you literally less than 1% of the American population serves in the military, whether on active duty or in a reserve in uniform, some shape or fashion, right? That 1%. And on top of all that, like not every single job is a combat. There's HR and combat related jobs. There's, the culinary staff that runs the DFAC was cooking for the service member out in the field and out in these different places on the ships that are not combat related. Like they don't carry around guns. They, chef knives and ladles and things like that they use, cooking utensils. So there's a small percentage within that small percentage of Americans. There's a small percentage of people in the military who are combat related military members. It's a small percentage. The infantry and the tankers and not tankers, but the people that drive tanks and people who fly helicopters and people who fly airplanes. That's a small percentage of the 1% of the people who are Americans who serve in the military. So, yes, we go fight wars, and yes, we do things. We're following the orders of our government. That's what we're doing. We're upholding the Constitution of the States. I feel like if you're in that 1% or less of people in America who serve, it seems like natural that we would work with people, because at the end of the day, if those people weren't there, you wouldn't have the freedom to go on Reddit and say the things you're saying on Reddit. So if you want to experience it and see what it's like on the other side of the fence, like, come sign up. We need people. We're recruiting actively. So come sign up, put on a uniform, go to boot camp, do a couple of years in a remote location in some island in the Pacific for a year or two with no Walmart, no 7-Eleven, no Dunkin' Donuts, none of that stuff. And see what it's like, and see if you deserve the benefits after you get done doing that. I think that's what I would say.
Yeah. It's funny how, like, going out to the remote location and not having access to all that stuff, you miss it, and it makes you appreciate it a lot more when you get back, I think.
Oh yeah.
When deployed in Iraq and there's no Walmart out there. They had what we call, I don't know the correct name for this. It was just like a little mini mart thing where they sold just random trinkets. I bought like all the seasons of The Sopranos when I was out there for like $50. They called it the Haji shop. I don't know that. Obviously, that's not a correct name, right? But
so I think it's souk, and there's different kinds of souks. Like there's the gold souk where you can buy all the gold stuff, and then the regular souk is like an open air market or even a closed market souk.
Yeah. So yes, you thank you for the correction, because I know that what I mentioned was not correct at all. Um, that's just what I knew it as, right? But yeah, that was it. I mean, it was that, and there was like a little small MCX, kind of similar to like an NEX shop, where
And
you
a
can go
trailer.
and get like, yeah, you can go and get like chips or whatever, and whatever else you want. And I recall they didn't take actual money. They took like these pogs. It was like 25-cent pogs or 10-cent pogs or whatever, and it said AFES on it or MCX on it, because it would, they're obviously a lot lighter than bringing pennies and nickels and stuff from overseas. So yeah, it definitely makes you miss a lot of that. It makes you appreciate it when you get back. I remember stepping into I went to a mall when I came back, because I had lost so much weight when I was deployed. I'm like, a lot of my clothes didn't fit me. So I went to go pick up some stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, man, this is like, and it was like, it felt like a new experience, and nobody around me knew. I mean, you couldn't tell that I was just back 2 days ago from Iraq. Nobody knew that. I wasn't telling people that. People were just going on about the day after, as around me, as if nothing happened. But I'm like, man, I mean, not that I wasn't trying to tell anybody about it. I was just going through my day, but it really made me take a step back. And I'm like, man, because of what I did, I'm just a small piece of sand in this huge type of, part of people's rights, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and all that stuff. I'm just a little piece of the sand when it comes to that. And I thought about that for a long time. So when I see something like this, we are too generous to our veterans. It makes me think, feel free to enlist, just like you mentioned, feel free. The Army has increased the age to 42 years old. If you want to know what it feels like, feel free to enlist, my friend, and you just get a feeling for that. Go through it all, get firsthand experience and earn those benefits. Earn those benefits that you think are too generous. You'll come to find that maybe they are not too generous, but we veterans are deserving of what they've worked hard for, I think.
Yeah, I feel like we have the Goldilocks amount of benefits, right? I think we've earned enough time. We broke down our bodies enough. We've earned kind of the right to, and let's look at the other side of it, right? Veterans are out there around with a veteran shirt on and a veteran hat on, and they're like, I'm a vet. You should say something to me. Like nobody's walking around like that, because we're actually, a lot of us are aimed to take some of those benefits, right? We're very trepidatious about taking those benefits in the first place, because we don't feel like we deserve the benefits either, because we feel like there's somebody who's worse off than us, right? So yeah, it's a funny thing. But I'll say this, like, I've been out of the States for 2 years, dude. Let me tell you, Walmart is the best store ever created. Like, I go in there and they literally have everything. And I don't live in some third world country. Like, I live in Italy. Man, into Walmart, and you smell the plastic, and you smell the the GMOs, and you're like, man, it's so good in here. It's so good. They have everything.
No, I'll tell you, man, I've been to some sketchy Walmarts before, and some like, you go out to North Carolina or wherever. Shit, they got them out here in California too. I've been to some sketchy Walmarts where I'm like, damn, I feel like I need to take a shower after I step out of this Walmart, man. But yeah, I know what you mean. They have everything. Shit, I was just at a Walmart yesterday, because I'm like, man, this other store doesn't have it. Maybe Walmart has it, or maybe Walmart has it for cheaper. And sure enough, they did have it. So I'm like, okay, well, thank goodness that they have this here.
Walmart has everything.
Walmart, dude. Walmart. I think the Walton family is like one of the wealthiest families in the U.S., if not the wealthiest family in the U.S.
Probably. Let me check that for you.
Let me see. I'm going to bring another question up on here. So let me see. If anybody has any questions as well, put it in the comments. Let us know. Mo perspective. He sounds like a hater. Probably couldn't pass the ASVAB. Yeah, maybe he couldn't. Who knows? But a lot of the more people talk about this stuff, right? Like what I mentioned it on TikTok, people flaunting their 100% VA disability ratings. The more people are going to get angry at it, and then that prompts people to complain and bring it to light, and then the more issues come about. So not everything should be posted, especially like on TikTok, especially when it comes to VA disability ratings. Can we post it if we want to? Sure, nobody's stopping you. Should you post everything? Probably not. Probably not. So let me see. I got another good one. Okay. This one happens to be. What's that?
I miss Charles.
Oh, dude, so do I, man. You could still go to a chow hall though, right? Retirees.
Where I'm at, once a month, I believe, and then on a special occasions like Thanksgiving and things like that. But other than that, no, not every day.
Yeah. I remember I wonder if they recently changed that. So I recall being at the chow hall. We do like this is back when I was active duty. We'd go in there, and every so often it would either be like a warrant officer type thing, or I'd go out with my section and go to the chow hall or something. And there was always this older gentleman. He was Army. He was like an Army lieutenant colonel or a major. I can't recall which one. But he was probably in his late 80s, and he would wear his Army uniform. And I think the uniform was like dark green pants and light green shirt. That was an Army uniform, right? It was like a light green shirt.
Yeah, the old green khakis. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would wear that, and he would sit by himself in a corner and eat his chow just quietly. And I'd see him there because we usually do this on a Friday, right? I'd see him there on Fridays. And I always wondered, like I said hey to him at one point in time, he was always by himself. And I always wondered what his story was, like he's not in an Army base. He was on a Marine Corps base, but he's welcome if he's retired. But I always wondered, and I probably should have asked him too. And that's kind of like one of the kicks in my own ass. Like, I wonder what his story was. Let me see here. Mo perspective. Where did you go? Oh, here we go. This is true. A lot of vets are making us look bad. People are out here struggling, so it's going to cause some resentment. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. Adele Moser. How do you interact with the chat?
Absolutely.
You're doing it right now, buddy. You're doing it right now. You're interacting with the chat right now, bud.
Well, screen.
All right, so I'm going to bring this one up here on the screen, man. This one's a pretty good one, kind of in line with what we were already talking about. Oh, shit. I doubled up on it. Here we go. Made the mistake of telling a close friend about my veteran benefits. All right. I know the advice that's constantly preached is to never tell anyone about your VA rating or benefits, even close family and friends. I've been struggling a lot lately and recently had my rating increased. I effed up and opened up to a close friend from high school and revealed everything I was getting. Their entire attitude towards me has changed to the point where their envy and judgment has pretty much dissolved our entire friendship. They acted supportive when I first told them, but quickly started comparing it to being on food stamps and receiving government handouts for doing nothing. Feels bad, man. Any thoughts?
I mean, we don't preach, but a lot of people say you shouldn't tell everybody what your VA benefits are, or what your retirement status is, or whatever. No, right? I mean, this is a good example of being able to weed out the bad apples out of your bushel and figure out who your friends really actually are and who aren't your friends. If this person's got a problem with you and with you're sharing part of your life with them, and it's very personal because you don't share it with everybody. And if they take it in a way that they want to turn it around and be judgmental to you about how you're getting money or what kind of government benefit you're getting, like that's on them, and that's a great indicator of who you need to be spending your time with or not spending your time with. The congressional people, a paycheck for their rest of their lives, pretty much, right? Don't they get a paycheck after they serve 2 or 4 years? So they serve 2 or 4 years in Congress or in the House or Senate or whatever. And of course, it takes a long time to get to that point, and they've got to do a lot of stuff, and they've got to look good and kiss babies and do all the right things and check all the boxes. But after 2 or 4 years of serving in Congress, they get a pension for the rest of their life. So I'm pretty sure that's the truth. Let me double check that. That's one example that I would say on the side of the coin, and nobody's walking around anything. And if I was a congressman and I did that and I got my pension benefit from the government for the rest of my life and was taken care of for the rest of my life after doing 4 years, and I told somebody and they got mad about it, that would be water off my shoulder. I wouldn't think too much about it. I wouldn't think twice about it. I would feel blessed because I have those people out of my life who want to be negative Nancy's and what are they called? Karens? Is that the word?
Karens. Karens or something. Yeah. So I mean, I agree with what you said, man. It kind of helps you weed out the bad folks, the bad apples out of your bushel, right? If this person is going to get pissed off about what you rate, what you legitimately rate, they probably weren't a good friend, and they were probably putting up a facade, Another thing that stood out in this whole post was the last sentence there, for doing nothing, comparing it to food stamps and receiving government handouts for doing nothing. Now, arguably food stamps, when you're like on EBT and stuff like that, that is government assistance, right? When you're receiving a VA disability, it's not for nothing, or a VA rating or a VA benefit. It's not for nothing. It's because you served. It's because you may have some kind of issue that rates that monetary payout or that benefit. It's not for nothing. So that kind of bugged when I read that and said, for doing nothing. You did something, my man. You earned it. You earned it. So another thing that I would say is that the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, right? Like if you're going to, if you rate something, let's say you rate right off the bat, let's say you rate 100% VA disability, you may be happy. You're like, yes, I got that, right? No, it doesn't matter what it is, 80%, 50%, whatever. I got that. I rate that because the government used my body and my mind for a mission to complete the mission. And now because something is not the same as when I entered, they're now giving me payments for that. You got it for a reason, right?
Yep.
Because of that reason. So if you rate something, if you rate something like a payment from the government, and it's potentially going to be for life, maybe don't tell many people about it. Nobody needs to know your business.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody needs to know your business and what you make. I've always thought it very tacky, if you will, when people talk about finances. When people talk about how much they make or lack of finances, this and that, it leaves kind of a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I mean, now when you're talking about, hey, look, here's how to invest and save, but when somebody's like, hey, I make this much, or I don't know, I don't make this much, whatever it is, I always found it like very, I kind of repel from that kind of talk. So maybe don't, because it does seem a little tacky, and TikTok is full of this trash, full of it, dude. I can't get over it.
Yeah. And let me correct myself on the record. Congressmen get pension just like a regular GS or civilian employee would. After 5 years, they're vetted, and then they can do 20 years and add a certain retirement age, 55 or 60. The president of the United States is the one who gets a lifetime pension after serving.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's an investment, right? I look at it like a 401k. Like if you want to get a military, then go be in the military for 20, and you'll get a retirement. Well, maybe you won't get the retirement that we got, but you're going to get something, right? It is investment advice. Like if you want to set yourself up for success, but it comes with all the bad stuff. You got to do deployments, and you got to do schools, and you got to be away from your family for years, and you got to miss birthdays and shit. Like there's a lot of, it's not just fun and games. It's not a glamorous lifestyle in any sense of the word, but
yeah. I had a conversation I went to a friend's get together party, if you will, probably sometime last year. And we were talking about the conversation of pensions came up. Something, I forgot how it went. And then I had mentioned, like some folks can get paid for life, like, if you do the right things, you can get paid for life. And the guy's like, man, how do I do that? I'm like, just do what I did, dude. Like, you get paid for life? How? And I'm like, just, serve in the military for 20 years, man. You're good, dude. And he's like, what? Serve in the military for 20 years.
Why would I do that?
I'm telling you, it's a life hack, dude. It's a life hack. You want to get paid for life?
You know what I'm
I
saying?
got you, dude. I got you. Join the military for 20 years. You're good to go. Oh,
decision
man.
You'll make.
Yeah, and I have some friends as well who got out after one enlistment, who got out after two enlistments, and we often talk about it. Like some of them came to my retirement ceremony. And they're like, man, if I would have stayed in, I would have been here with you. I'm like, dude, I wish you would have stayed in, buddy, because it would have been a lot better with them in it, because there was a lot of smart folks that got out. And they went on to do great things, right? And they're getting paid just well, and they have a good life, good families, and all that. But I just feel like a lot of these folks that did get out, a lot of my good friends that got out would have made just excellent career Marines, and the potential to get paid for life via military retirement. So, but to each their own, man. We all pick our own lives. Reading York says, do 20 years and get 40% of your base pay. Nice. It is now it is 40% under the BRS. The BRS stands for, blended retirement system.
Blended retirement system. Yep.
Yeah, man, the high 3 is 50%. So now it's 40% with matching TSP as well. So not too bad, right? Especially if you're maxing out the TSP, it has a potential to grow.
I mean, I feel like they're getting more, right? Because if you get TSP matching, we didn't get TSP matching, right?
No, we didn't. I know federal employees got TSP matching. Yeah, if we did, it'd be amazing. Yep.
It would be something wild. I would take 40% with TSP matching over 50%, and every day, all day.
I thought about it a lot, because I was it was in 2018 when they introduced the BRS. I retired December of 2023. It would not have been enough time to get the full effect of the TSP, the matching and maxing out TSP. If I would have started it from day one and maxed that out, dude, you'd leave the service a millionaire. You would leave if you look at if you leave it. I mean, if you look at it historically, like the S&P and like the whole TSP, if you go through each one of the funds historically, you would leave the service with quite some money. I would be hood rich. No, not just hood rich. You would be rich. Hood rich is when you're wearing gator boots and what else? What does Manny Fresh sing about? Gator boots and then Gucci suits. Ain't got no job, but I'm still fly. You remember Manny Fresh? So let me see here.
Fresh. He'd be Dave Chappelle rich.
Dave Chappelle. Oh man, that dude is. I saw something on him. He's like, he lives in Ohio somewhere. He's living like just a regular life, but this dude's like multimillionaire. But I mean, he's living low key. That's all right, man. I like that for him. Let me see here.
$38 when you retire. Yeah, I tell them the same. Stay in. 38 when you retire, dude. I'm telling you. Not only that, you're gonna look a lot less than 38 when you retire if you go and do your PRTs or your physical training exercises or whatever every single day and do those tests annually or semi-annually. People look at me and they're like, "You're that age?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Nah, you look."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Thank you." But
same, dude. People can't believe I'm 58. So they can't believe I'm 58, dude. They're like, "Wow, what? You're almost 60?" I'm like, "Dude."
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's the trick, dude. That's the trick is you always tell somebody you're 10 years older and they're like, "Oh my God, what is your secret? What is your secret?" Tony Slaughter's got it right there. Gator boots and them Gucci suits.
Uh-oh. Getting personal now. Hold on a second. How old am I? Take a guess. Take a guess. This is an audience question. You put your number in the comments of what you think. How old I am.
Yeah.
Let me know. I retired in 2001, so I'll give you that hint.
And he joined at 38. So
will be revealed in the next live stream. No, I'm just kidding. I'll reveal it. I'm curious to see. 75. Close.
75.
Close.
Damn.
Almost. I'm getting there.
Damn.
Anybody else? Any other takers?
How old is John?
How old, John? That's the question of the day. I think I'm older than you, though, right?
I think so. Yes. We've talked about this. We've talked about it. Let me see here. My first enlistment, they called me a lifer. Thank God they were right. Yeah, not bad. Damn, man, these are
nice.
They're hammering you, dude. 70.
Come really on, old. Man. I know, right? I remember back in my day when I was in the Army.
Yeah, right. This guy's twerking at the VA, man. 54. Man, this is like, remember when you were like a young soldier, when I was like a young Marine, right? And you'd look at like the E9s and they were probably like 36, 38, maybe even 40. Yeah. And you're like, man, that dude looks like he's crusty. Like 60, crusty, right? These dudes were actually like 40. Oh, man. I got this one here. Right. I'm going to put this one up on the screen here. Tired of feeling inadequate compared to other veterans. I cut off at the bottom, but I'll read it here. So I had to get out of the military for mental health reasons. Had a therapist slap a personality disorder on me, so I couldn't appeal my medical board for depression. Got out, med retired with 70% PNT. I've been out 6 years, and every day I've missed the military. I wish I could be in so bad. I would give up my disability and benefits to serve again. Hell, I wouldn't even have to be paid to serve again. Just let me be in. I hate civilian life, and I've given it time, and I just don't cope out here. I'm tired of seeing other veterans with medals and Purple Hearts get more recognition like everything I've done doesn't mean anything. So I'm so tired of feeling inadequate compared to other veterans, especially when they show off their medals and achievements. Seeing the Iran war stuff lately has made it even worse. Seeing others do badass stuff while here I am sitting here looking for a job in a grocery store. Others say no, all veterans are equal, but their actions say different. They respect and flock to others with medals and Purple Hearts so much more. I just feel cut out from all, or cut off from all. Another very real feeling for folks who get out and maybe don't feel like they measure up to other vets. Your comments in the chat about this one. Personally, I think there's a lot of comparison that goes on amongst the veteran community, especially when you see things like a lot of the special forces folks that are, they got these podcasts, they got these channels, they've done all this cool stuff, and that's great. They're also veterans. They've gone a different route. That doesn't take away from what folks have done, other folks have done. You could have been an admin person. You could have been a logistics person, a cook, or whatever. You still did your time. The whole measuring yourself against other people based on medals, that really doesn't mean anything. It shouldn't mean anything on the outside world, in the civilian world. I have yet to encounter anybody in civilian life who has asked me about my medals or ribbons or whatever. Nobody. Once you leave the service, nobody really asks about that. It is a mental thing that I think many folks need to overcome.
No, and not just in the veteran community, like in life in general. Like that's why, as good as social media it is for keeping us connected with people and giving us the ability to stay connected with folks that we've known from years and years ago, and being able to connect with other people in other communities and expand our network of connectivity. It does breed some kind of things, right? You see people putting their Instagram best up, and they get recognition for it because people like nice things. People like fancy a lot of people like fancy things, and they like nice things, and they like people that look glamorous, and that's why we have movie stars, and that's why we have rock stars and musicians and people who are in the headlines, and Olympic athletes, and NBA players and NFL players and WNBA players that are in the headlines and on news and on TV and media. It's because they fit a persona. They do something really, really interesting. They are really good at what they do. But there's a ton of people out there who aren't so special, and they get the opportunity, the platform on some of these social media platforms to be able to project their best self and look like they're amazing, but you don't know what their real life is behind the scenes. And so the comparisons will always be there. Like that's why we have these glamorous magazines with glamorous magazine covers, and Time magazine even, and all these different things where people get personified and highlighted. But I mean, if you're going to compare yourself to one person, you're going to compare yourself to everybody. Like it's something that you have to come to grips with yourself. It's not something that has to do with, oh, they're better, or they did this, or they did that, or they had these medals. I haven't been asked about my medals either. Nobody's, not once, not never, asked me about any of my ribbons. So yeah, it's comparison is the thief of joy. That's what I'll say. That's my quote for the day.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just writing something down here.
Yep.
I agree. So I believe that if you want to make a difference in something, it should be where you are right now. So like it's an old Teddy Roosevelt quote, do what you can where you are with what you have. Right? Something like that. I'm sure I'm butchering it, but essentially that's the essence of what I got from it. Don't try to impress anybody else. It's also like a stoic way of thinking, right? Simplicity, continuous learning, and you move forward. When you compare yourself to somebody else, just like you mentioned, the thief of joy, it's going to take away. You're never going to be content with where you are and what you have. So I'm happy my neighbor has this huge RV in his driveway. That's cool. When he first got it, we walked through it. He's like, dude, let me show you this thing. I'm like, that's awesome. I was happy for the dude, but I'm like, you know, he joked around. When are you going to get yours, man? I'm like, I have no desire to have that. You know, like,
yeah.
Would it fit in my driveway? Sure, but I don't have a desire to have that. So it's good for you. And the amount of times this man has taken it out for a camping trip since he got it last year is like once, twice. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't have a desire for that. So I used to feel that way comparing what I have to others until I got into the mindset, I don't care because I have my own life. I have no debt. I'm good. You know, I'm happy. I'm living as simple as possible. So that's what I'd say, man. Is stop comparing yourself to everybody else. It's it's not going to work out mentally, you know, and potentially talk to a therapist about it because you may have to get that part of that thinking via EMDR to the back of your mind.
Yep. Get it out of your brain. And even the simple question, and you still got to get to the answer, right? But the simple question of like, how old are you? Like, that's a comparison thing too, right? A lot of people use that for comparison. The people that I was sitting at the table with, talking with, we were having the conversation with, they were like the same. They're like, man, I wish I blah blah blah. I'm like, they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I just do me. That's what I do. I do what I do, and that's pretty much it. And what I do is not going to make you become, you know, I don't have the magic juice and the magic snake oil to make you look the same way I do. And you're not going to. We're all individuals. So, yeah, comparison is a bitch, man. It's a bitch.
It is. So, especially in today's world, man. Like, you know, you move somewhere, everybody's going to have a nicer car. I'm like, look, man, I'm good with my 2015 whatever I drive. You know, I'm good with that. Why? Because it still drives. I don't care if, you know, I got to buff the headlights every so often so I can see. I'm good with it, man. I'm good. And that's a matter of just being content with what you have, you know, being content.
Let me give you a drum roll and I'll give you the answer for those in the chat who are playing along.
Oh, snap. Here we go.
Multitude
of
answers.
Let's see if we can get one more round here real quick. The question is, how old is John? And put your guesses in the comments. Put your guesses. So far we've got let me see. Let me pull up some numbers here. We've got 75. We got Mo Perspective with 48. We got ID 6584 with 70. 660 Love says 54. How old is John is the question.
That's right. Hellfish. Good to see you. I saw him on a live stream the other day. I was on there, hopped on for a little bit and was watching what we were talking about.
Welcome. Yeah.
Good guy.
Doing good things.
So we're doing one more round. Okay, cool. No problem. Let's see what this one says. Military worth it. I want to do 20 years. However, I feel old at the age of 33 years. Old just starting. I mean, let's see, 33, 23, 53. Let me tell you, you guys pull up your chairs and your popcorn and I'll tell you a bedtime story. 46.5. Thanks. I went into the Warrant Officer Corps. I got picked up for Warrant Officer in 2008. Actually, was deployed. So I don't know, 7. Deployed and I had to wait to come back and then come off deployment and then I could actually go to school, and that was in 2009. 2009 was Warrant Officer Basic Course, which is basically for the Army at least. Fort Rucker, Alabama. It's like 36 days. You go there, they treat you like a third-class private, you know, citizen, redheaded stepchild. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. They treat you really horrible for couple weeks and then they kind of ease off a little bit, but for the first couple weeks you're treated like a private with no privileges. First coming into the military, even though you've been in for at least 10 years. We had a guy in my class who was there, and I think we had a total of, I don't know, it's probably 30, 40 people in class, in the WACS class that I was in, the basic warrant officer candidate school. And one guy in the class was actually 53 years old in the class. And he finished and completed the warrant officer candidate school and pinned on warrant officer at the age of 53. He was the oldest guy to come through at that time. And so to this question, like if you're 33 now, you get in now, you would be 53 when you get to the 20-year mark. I think it's absolutely doable. It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, at least from the physical part of it. So you have to train and get back into training if you haven't trained for a while and get yourself prepared for that. But I absolutely think, especially in today's day and age, what's going on in the world and job market and the way things are going, if I could go back in and do another 20 years and have a bit more stability with where I'm going to actually be in the world, where I'm going to be stationed at, I would absolutely do another 20. Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with that, man. And I just pulled up this this article here from military.com. This 59-year-old Army BCT grad is about to be in the new guy in his son's unit. So I don't know what kind of waivers this guy got or what, but I don't know what BCT stands for. It looks like he's got some rank on there. However, he's going through some new, like a new training at 59, right? So the Army will take you up to 42 years old, right? Yep. For this guy's question here, at where is it? Where the heck is this guy's question? Okay, here we go. At 33 years old, my man, okay, you would be 53 and eligible to retire. Think about that. 53, getting a full pension at 53, and then, I mean, you're still younger than what is regular retirement? 67 now. You're still young enough to collect a pension and then collect Social Security or whatever your retirement is after that. So, would I do it at 33? Yeah. I mean, if there was nothing else that I could do, and I'm like, you know what? For one, I feel a calling to do this. For two, I feel like I need to serve a purpose bigger than myself. And I want to go see the world potentially, you know, whatever your case may be. I would right now, if you would ask me, I would join again. I would. Same as John, I would join again. Would it be in the Marine Corps? I don't know. At 33, the Marine Corps is a little tough, and it could be harsh on your body. A lot of expectations, and a lot of promotions are based on, you know, physical activity. So if you feel like your body's slowing down a little bit, hey, you know, there's other branches, Air Force, there's Coast Guard, you know, things like that. Not to say that they are any less strenuous, but compared to like the Marine Corps side, I've never been to an Air Force boot camp. My better half has, and you can watch videos on YouTube all day about it. You can compare. But yeah, I would definitely do another 20 years if I could.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you don't want to go straight to active duty, you could always go reserves, right? If you want to try it out and dip your toes in the water and see what it's like, and do 1 weekend a month and weeks a year, and still be, I mean, you potentially be getting deployed really soon, because they pull a lot of people from reserve units for deployments just to backfill, and especially right now. But you can dip your toes in and be a reserve member or a National Guard member, you know, and do it part-time.
Yeah.
And get some of those benefits and get a taste of it.
Yeah. So if you're going to go Marines, just know you're not dipping your toes in the water. You're dipping your toes in the lava. So get ready. Get ready. So yes, do it, man. I mean, if it lines up with what you want to do and the lifestyle you want, ID 6584. You got my support, brother. You got our support, I think. Yep. Let me see. Oh, Hellfish says 70 or 70, 47 and a half. Sergeant Stacking. Hey, Vic and John, good to see you. Good to see you too, man.
See you too, man.
Sergeant Stacking does these things with silver. He does these silver molds, like these custom molds. It's pretty incredible stuff. I've not seen anybody else do something like that, but he does some very interesting things with precious metals. Damn. Gotcha.
Got him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
Love
That's a
that
good
comment.
one.
Thank you, Oliver.
Let me see. I'm reading some of these comments here. There's so much with drones and cyber now. Yeah, absolutely. There's a gentleman that I spoke with. I think I had him on the Green Logbook a while back, and he runs the oh gosh, what's the name of his organization? I'll give him a shout out here. Remote Warriors LLC. So he's a big advocate for mental health for the drone community, drone operators. He himself was an MQ-9 Reaper sensor operator and instructor evaluator. His name is Tanner Yackley. Shout out to this man. Awesome dude. So yes, there are a lot. He can tell you all day what there are with drones and cyber. Good dude. I don't think I would, being on the outside for many years now, seeing Hell Cavalier. Okay. Yeah. I mean, to each their own. I mean, you may not want to, you may want to. It's a decision.
There you go. That's a
how cavalier our government has gotten with sending us all over the place is troubling to me. Yeah. I get that. And, I think you just need to be smart with the job that you are looking for when you join the military, right? Of course, if you're going to be like infantry or something like that, boots on the ground, then that's one thing. If you're going to be logistics, you're probably going to be like an RBE, a remain behind element. It depends on your job, but you have to choose smartly as well. Because at some point in time, I mean, you can't serve in the military forever. So choose a job, a career choice that you could potentially do while you're out of the military.
Springboard.
I have a good friend who was a tanker in the Army and couldn't really do anything on the outside. Like, what do you do when you drive tanks all day in the Army? What do you do in the civilian world? You Amazon driver? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, what do you do? What does that translate to? So you got to choose wisely. Let me see here. All right, I got this other one here. No, that's not the one. Let's pull up the other one here. Bamsis. Let's see if I got it. Okay, here's a good one here. This one is called Losing My Mind. And I touched on this one a while back probably last week on a video, but I would like to get people's perspectives on this. All right, lose my mind. I served in the Navy, 91 to 93. I had a nasty fall and discharged because of unrepairable knee damage. I turned down VA benefits because I felt other veterans needed it more and I could take care of myself. For the most part, I have survived, but was never able to have success. Now I'm 53 and I have to lose part of my colon. Body has been haywire ever since up to near death. I have severe nerve damage in feet and hands. I lost my ability to work. We have a small house my wife hates and wants to just dump it for pennies on the dollar, regardless if we would be able to afford moving or not. I am super stressed out and plunging into a depression abyss. My life feels like it's over and I cannot enjoy anything. This is a rough spot, John. A real rough spot.
Yeah, and I saw you put a video out on this and talked to it a little bit. As I was watching the video and as I was watching you explain it and talk about it a little bit, I agree with what you said wholeheartedly. Not jumping into selling the house just because it feels like the right thing to do and it's the quick win. Selling a house to me is not a quick win. It's a very long process, and then the other side of that, buying another house, is also a very long process. It's like months worth of paperwork and back and forth and getting money together and securing the loan and all the stuff that goes along with house stuff. I would not. I think I actually had a situation with my mom. My dad passed away, and we had the house, and she had a couple more years left to pay on it, and she was ready to sell as soon as my dad passed away. And I was like, I don't know if that's such a great idea. Like, I know it's painful, I know it's difficult, and it's rough. I don't think taking that step so abruptly is the right thing to do. At least I would sit on it for a little while, a few months, a year, and think about it. I wouldn't just jump into it, because that opens up a whole nother can of nonsense when it comes to moving and packing things up and doing this, it's not an easy process. And I talked her into keeping the house, and she kept the house and paid it off. And when she paid the house off, then she was out from underneath that mortgage payment, sold it off, got a little bit of money out of it. But yeah, in this particular case, especially under stress and under duress and under the guise of coming up on depression and things like that, I would really do some soul searching and take a pause if you need to, take a break, maybe revisit some of this medical stuff and try to get that kind of initiated and start to work down that path. And sitting down with your significant other and having the conversations about, well, let's map this out. Let's sandbox this and see what it looks like. If we sell the house over the next 12 months, let's see what the next 12 months will look like. How long is it going to take to get to the house to get sold? Do we have another place to go? How much is that place going to cost? How is that process going to work? And just actually writing it down and mapping it out with my significant other and trying to figure out what that actually looks like, so I have a better understanding of it. So maybe she or he has a better understanding of it, so that you can make a better informed decision, rather than just saying, okay, yeah, we should sell the house. That's going to solve our problems. It's assuming that money is a good or a bad thing and is going to solve a problem one way or the other. And it's not. Money solves problems, but it doesn't solve long-term problems unless you're talking about like generational wealth money.
No, that's great answer, man. And I agree with you, man. It's selling the house now, though it may be small, though your wife may be pissed off. I have this feeling that, hey, once you sell the house, you're going to kick yourself in the ass on the back end, because houses aren't cheap these days. So you have what you have, and maybe hold on to that thing, right? Potentially, once you get everything situated, find yourself another house and potentially rent that house out. Now, I know of several older vets who kind of felt the same way, right? Like, I don't want to take away from another veteran who would need it if I don't need it now. And now that he needs it the most, it is, he doesn't have it. So the best thing I think this person can do is gather all the evidence that they have, medical evidence, reach out to medical facilities, document timelines, from when they were in service, what they incurred, what they experienced, and everything throughout the timelines up to now, up to today, how it's gotten worse, and potentially buddy letters, things like that. Get with a good VSO, an accredited VSO, and submit that stuff, because it's just going to get worse, man. I just got to be honest with this guy. Like, this dude's having issues with his colon, or he had to lose part of his colon. He says it's just going to get worse, man. And now he has severe nerve damage with hands and feet. It doesn't sound to me like it's going to get better. So start with a VSO. And potentially, if you lost your ability to work, and your wife is your caregiver, she could potentially get paid as well for being your caregiver.
Yep.
So there's an option there. So I don't know if he mentions anything about finances. I don't know what this person's financial situation is, but it sounds like they're at their wits' end with the house. Maybe they overpaid for their house and it's too small. Wife hates it. Right now, don't sell anything, man. You're gonna kick yourself in the ass on the back end unless you know where you're gonna move. You're gonna move into a smaller apartment, something less expensive, something like that. I wouldn't sell it if I were you. Don't make a rash decision now that you're gonna regret here in probably tomorrow or next week. So, yeah, it's unfortunate with a lot of these older folks in that mindset, right? That's a mindset a lot of like Vietnam vets had. Like, I don't want to take away from somebody else. You're not, though. You're not. Get evaluated. And don't be the one who doesn't get evaluated because everybody else is going to be doing that same thing. Get what you earned, man. Anybody in the chat has any other comments on this one? This is a good one because this guy is kind of at his wit's end, and these are all just on Reddit, right? Like I like to read this stuff on Reddit, jump on Reddit, and either comment on these things or just read them to see what other people are going through and potentially be put my 2 cents in there to help them out a little bit or guide them and give them sources or resources that I've come across. But this guy is looks like, I mean, he says it, he's really stressed. He's plunging into a depression abyss, which is not good, and maybe just to make things simple, I think communication as well is a big part of this. I don't know how well the communication is between this man and his wife, or whoever he says wife, right? So communication is big, man. So you all need to get on the same team on this. If one person's going one way and the other person's going the other way, it's like a tug of war, man. You're never going to make ends meet. So communication is huge in a marriage. Yeah, the Veterans Crisis Line. Oh, Brian Hahn, man, welcome. Yeah, check out Veterans Crisis Line for help to depression. Yeah, 988, my man. VFW. Tony Slaughter says, try the VFW. Yes, I agree. Let me see some of the comments that got posted up on here. Yeah, a lot of folks are in this specific Reddit mentioned, get your records, talk to a veteran support organization, VFW, American Legion. Somebody else says you can't turn down VA benefits if you served in and fashion other. What? Okay, well, whatever. You can't turn down VA benefits. They're your benefits. You've earned those things. You just have to activate it and get with somebody like a VSO to activate those things. So let me see here. So good one on that. Anything else on that one, John?
No. Just communication is important. And then sitting down and trying to figure out where you're actually at versus just thinking that you're in a certain position or a certain space or a certain situation. Like sitting down and actually walking through that, whether it's talking about it or writing it down or just going through it on your own with some quiet space to get a really good assessment of what you're actually going through, and not jumping off the deep end, trying to solve things in the short term that are going to potentially harm you in the long term.
That's right. Making those quick, rash decisions without sitting down and actually thinking about it first, maybe talking through. There's a rule I personally have. Like if it's not something that's really pressing, but it is a big decision, I usually will think about it overnight. Yep. If I feel the same way, like if it's a big purchase, right? I'm like, do I really need this? You know, usually I'll change my mind the next day. Like, it was nice to have, but let me take this thing out of my cart or whatever it is.
Yep.
So if it's a big decision, like, hey, we need to sell the house like ASAP, you know, take a breather, take a step back, think about it, revisit it the next day, and potentially your mind will change, or you'll think about things that maybe you weren't thinking about it during a time of stress. Let's see here. Oliver Russ, yeah, a good VSO can change your life. I agree with that. Okay, let me bring up this other one. This is a pretty good one here. Oh, where the hell am I? Populating. This was always a popular one here. Uncommon or unknown VA benefits. Please share. What are some uncommon or unknown VA benefits that you know of or have utilized that others might not know? For example, I met with a social worker at the VA and had a living will made up before I gave birth to my first child. A coworker of mine had no idea this was offered and did the same thing a few months ago. Excuse me. Great topic, because there's always something when I'm searching, John, when I'm scouring all these veteran benefits, whether it's a federal or state benefit, I'm always finding something new that I didn't know of. Is there anything that you maybe have come across that in your time that maybe other people have never found out about or didn't know about, or maybe a lesser known thing?
VA specific?
I mean, it could be any like veteran benefit, not VA specific.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably lesser known. I don't know how many people know about it, but like this parks thing, within the United States, if you go to, because they're federally funded and federally run. So if you go Lake Yosemite or some of these places, you can actually get access for free, and you can renew it every year or 2 years where they give you a little card. Those are kind of nice if you're doing traveling after you've got out of service, especially if you're retired. Want to do some traveling, those are nice places to visit and hit, and you can get in for free, where a lot of them you have to pay to get in. They're not all free, unfortunately. It'd be nice if they were free for every single American. That's what I would push for. But yeah, veteran benefit, that's one that pops up in my mind. The VRNE is a lesser known VA benefit that a lot of people still don't know. I mean, we talk about it constantly, and there's a lot of people that I run into on a daily basis who still don't know it. Has never heard of it. And
yeah, I agree.
The best benefit.
That's probably, I would say that the VRNE is probably one of the best benefits I've ever come across. And within the VRNE, the tech package is one of the best benefits I have ever seen from the VA. I mean, there's VA home loans, you know, there's other things that you can get, you know, but they, you know, to have them send me a straight up like laptop MacBook and a printer and everything, I'm like, wow, this is pretty amazing. So yeah, there are a lot of good ones. I would say another good one that I personally use is the insoles, custom insoles for your shoes. You know, like if you have issues with your feet or anything like that from all those years of marching or you know, ruck marches or humps or whatever you call them, you can go and get free insoles. And these are not like the cheap insoles that you get from Walmart, like Dr. Scholl's or whatever. These are like custom made. You go to a podiatrist and they have you step in some foam, and then they create or send it out to get something created and call you back in, and they make sure and shave it down, make sure everything fits accordingly. These are custom made insoles. So definitely jump on that, because I didn't know that existed until somebody mentioned it to me. I was buying one of those, the orange insoles from the Exchange, Super Feet, I think they're called. And some old dude, he's like, hey, you know, the VA or the medical will get you those for free. I'm like, huh, let me check this out. So thank goodness for old guys, right? or old people, old women, guys, or whatever.
Yeah, thank goodness for the sneaker net, the word of mouth network.
Yes, yes. And the 660 Love said, I get free custom insoles and shoes. So I'm curious about the shoes part. I've heard about the shoes. And what kind of shoes? What are we talking about? Like, can I go to ask the VA, hey, can I get a pair of Reebok pumps or something? Or what can I get? What are you talking about? I also see it on here as well on this comment. You can get 2 pairs of new shoes per year from Podiatry Prosthetics if you need something specific. I also understand, and I have yet to reach out to, no, actually, they sent me face cream, moisturizer, and you can get skincare products from the VA. Retinol, salicylic acid, sunscreen for free. You just have to see dermatology to help find the product that meets your needs. So I saw dermatology sometime last year. So definitely, if you need, like, moisturizer can be expensive, Yep. And I mean, look at John. John moisturizes every day. That's why he's 75. That's why he's 77 and looks like he's 28 years old. This man puts the lotion on the skin and then gets the hose again.
Exactly. That's exactly how I would have worded it. It comes out of my mouth.
Yes, that's it. Brian Hahn, free reading glasses from the VA. Yes, absolutely. You get free glasses from the VA. I got mine right here. They fit well. That's all I need. And I got my reading glasses somewhere floating around here. But, and they have a pretty nice selection as well. So definitely recommend it. And they work well. So I have another pair of glasses. I had another pair of glasses. These are my second pair. Usually they give you a pair every 2 years, right? You have to go and get your eye exam. I left my other pair of glasses in Guatemala at my Airbnb. And I'm like, I could not find them. And so I emailed the VA. I'm like, hey, went on a trip, left my glasses. Can I get another pair? And I had to get it approved and all that stuff. But within a week, I had these puppies in my email, or in my email. What the fuck? My email mailbox. In my email. Yeah, they emailed me glasses.
Nice.
Yeah.
They emailed you a copy of your glasses.
That's it. And I'm like, yeah, I had to print it out, and I have a piece of paper on my face. Hellfish Haven, I heard about this too. The rock climbing, yoga, Tai Chi, massage therapy. Isn't that through community care, I believe? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Could be. Yeah, you guys get a lot of more benefits than I get because you have the VA facilities here locally in the States next to you, hopefully next to you. I don't get none of these things. I'm out in the Philippines. So, we don't have VA facilities. So all the stuff that I get is remote stuff or stuff that they can actually send out maybe. But
yeah, you may not get the like those orthopedic shoes. You might get some like Italian leather shoes, right. Some Alfanis or something like that. Some nice chukka boots, So yeah, Brian Hahn said, yeah, special fluoride toothpaste from the VA dental. Yes, I agree. So VA they gave me this thing, right? So I had messed up my shoulder and I was feeling some shoulder pain. And they gave me it's like a Motrin cream. Have you ever heard of that?
Motrin cream. I have. So they have Motrin cream, and they also have a thing called Voltaren cream, which, if you know, Voltaren is usually for like really deep back pain. They may or may not prescribe it in the States, but Voltaren's a big thing that I used to take as a pill, and they actually have like creams and stuff that you can get for it.
Yeah, so they send me that, and it's all right. I guess it has to seep into your skin, and you have to continuously use it. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Oh yeah, 660 Love says they send you to an outside vendor, pair a year. They may not be Nike or that, and they are good for everyday use. Slip-on boots and lace ups. All right, that's good to know. That's good to know. So you're looking like Fred Munster walking around, huh? Oh, okay. Tony Slaughter, Forrest Gump shoes, yeah. Hellfish Haven Whole Health Program. Appreciate that, man. You know, Forrest Gump shoes. Yeah, man. The run, Forrest, run. Retinol, yes. Retinol is the stuff. Yes, I agree. Let me see what else we might have. I can't forget about the those Medcline pillows. I know Navy Cop has one as well. The Medcline pillows. The VA hooked me up with one of those. If you don't know what it is, I'll pull it up here. Man, this is a good piece of gear. I use this thing every night. So folks who are like side sleepers and have shoulder issues, or folks who have GERD, and then you have to kind of sleep at an angle. This right here is legit. Let me share this screen here. Bamses. Here we go. Medcline. So they work directly with the VA. You just have to request one of these pillows from your VA doc. It says, we are proud to serve VA patients or VA patients. We're proud to serve VA patients and their clinicians. Let me show you what it is. So I'll show you the one that I got here. Come on. What the hell? Here, this is the one I got. Shoulder relief system. So look how happy she is. Your arm goes in there and you sleep on the side. It takes a little while to get used to, but then you'll be sleeping like this. How old is this guy? 32?
He's not 77, that's for sure.
No, he's not 77 at all, man.
No.
But you'll be sleeping like that, like a baby. And this stuff, they'll send it to you. I had a FedEx box show up on my front door, and legit, man. It's all like vacuum sealed, but this is essentially what they sell you. And this therapeutic body pillow, it looks like a question mark or something, is amazing. It's amazing. So definitely jump on that. That's probably one of the better things I've seen. Let me see. Go to the comments here real quick. On TikTok, I see benefits that are not conventional, like red light treatment and other treatments all the time on that platform. Colombia has a community of veterans and doctors that work with the VA. Oh, look at that. So TikTok is good for something, I suppose. Hellfish Haven, do you dance on TikTok, man?
No, Hellfish Haven isn't the TikTok dancer type.
No?
Nah.
He's gangster, man.
Too gangster for that.
He's too gangster. He don't dance. He just pulls up his pants and does the rock away.
Lean back.
That's it. Lean back. Except
so
I lean front.
If you lean front, you might fall over.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a drum roll. I'm going to give my age, and then I'm going to take my old ass bladder and go take a nap after that, and call the wife before it gets too late in Italy, because you know how many hours behind I am now.
Yes.
I'm now feeling your pain, dealing with me on the other side of the world.
No, it's all good, man. It's good talk, good chats. Okay, so with can we put sounds on this thing?
I can. I got you a drum roll. You ready?
Go ahead.
The real age is 49.
49. Look at that. He looks good for his age. 49 years old. Trick is to tell people that you are 10 years older than you are, and damn, they're like, hey, what do you use? Well, I use the free retinol that they send me from the VA. That's
right,
what I use.
All over my face.
Moisturizer, yeah. And then you get the hose again. So
absolutely.
What are you going to show us? I thought you were picking up your retinol. I was like,
No,
oh, this dude's really got it.
Turning off my one of 7 mics that I had, trying to get the microphone working for this. Such a makeshift setup, but it works. Works good.
No, it's all good, man. It worked well. It worked well. So it makes me want to take this laptop, and I showed you my microphones that I have, the little DJI mics and all that. So take that with the little DJI camera. It's just an on the go type of deal. Even with the phone, right? The thing is, I tried to live stream with the phone before, and then I started getting a call, and then like it starts buzzing and stuff.
Yeah, I put mine on disturb. Do not disturb. Yep. But yeah, I got my phone up here, turned around. I got it on my little quad lock stand, so it's able to point this way. I got my little my magic microphone that I carry with me anytime, everywhere I go. My little Rode mic. It's just right here off camera. Excellent. Plug it all in USB. Done. Little earbuds.
Yeah, it all works well, man. So your microphone is the Rode mic, or are you using the earbuds just to hear?
The earbuds are just to hear, and then the Rode mic is just it's a USB shotgun mic. Probably got a little feedback. Little shotgun mic.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was considering a shotgun mic too, instead of this thing, one that goes like right here.
Yep. So put it right outside the camera, point it down, and it's up everything.
Considering that, but we'll see. We'll see. With that, we're still going to do our Sunday show, right? Our Sunday show is coming on. You're going to be back here Sunday?
I will be in the air Sunday. Again.
In the air Sunday. So here we go. And one more time, I'm looking for a guest then for the Sunday show. So a temp co-host. Oh, look at that. See? It's already telling me. Let me do this here real quick.
Uh-oh. See?
I got you. Hold on.
The tactical setup wins again. Nice.
You know why?
Yeah, how efficient. And actually, I think you might already have our email, but yeah, if you want to come on Sunday, man. Are you going to do like a round robin thing, or are you just going to have a one-time full-time host?
I think I'll do what I did last time. I brought somebody on for I brought somebody on for about 10 minutes at a time. Look at that, man. Something about this Sony camera, man. I might have to move over to a Canon or something.
Oh, I use Sony. It works good.
Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably plugged into the USB-C for the output for the video feed, huh?
I am, yeah.
That's why you got to use the HDMI out, and then it'll run forever.
See that? Learn something new every day. But yeah, what I'm going to do here is every 10 minutes or so, bring somebody else on, and then we'll talk, and then kind of round robin thing, duck goose or whatever the hell you call it. And that way we can talk to a bunch of people. So if you want in, Hellfish Haven, man, just show up Sunday. You know the time, 8 a.m. Pacific time, and I'll be there to bring you on the stage. Send me an email. Homebody Miss Katie, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well. Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah. If you haven't already done so, please, if you have Facebook or Meta or whatever the hell they call it today, sign up to the military retirement group. Military retirement group. You don't have to be retired, but you do have to have some kind of affiliation with the military, right? So veteran, etc. Active duty, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you did 4 years or 40 years. Doesn't matter if you are retired, reservist, or whatever. Jump on there. A lot of good information on there. We're about 3,000 folks strong so far in that group. So we're trying to grow it. Hold on a second.
Yep. Just registered, registration approved for WebEx webinar, Gulf War exposures and health concerns in class 4 veterans. Interesting. Nice.
Somebody just showed it to my door here, and I just shut the window on her. She's trying to talk. Or not. Just shut the window on her. I'm like, get out of here. I got a no soliciting sign on my door. I'm like, why are you still here? Okay, I cut you off, man.
No, you good.
Homebody Miss Katie, just register for registration approved WebEx webinar, Gulf War exposures and health concerns, a class for veterans. Oh, can you share the link to that, Homebody, Miss Katie? Please. I'm very curious about that. Gulf War exposures. So yeah, sign up to the military retirement group on Facebook, please. Good group of vets on there, good group of folks sharing good information. I post a lot on there regarding the channel, regarding, veteran updates, legislation, things like that. So definitely reach out and sign up. John and I are the admins on there, so we can add you on there as long as you answer the questions, and add you on there.
I approved about 7 of them the other day when I was bored out of my mind at the airport.
Right on. So I do ask for the emails on there as well, because what I'm doing is I'm compiling a bunch of emails from folks, from veterans, and we are going to be sending out. I'm still working on it, trying to figure out a way, but yeah, like a newsletter, if you will. So it's going to have stuff for vets, events. I would love to get like people who are retiring or having like significant things and going on in their life, so that way we can share it on the live stream. Maybe that would be cool. So updates to Veterans and Coffee meetups and things like that. Just did one not too long ago here in San Diego. Had a Veterans and Coffee meetup in person, which is awesome. Let me see. And where else are we? Streaming here on the Green Logbook, streaming on Military Retirement Podcast, streaming on Facebook. Shout out to our sponsors. Can't forget about them. Our sponsors, MBMT Financial. Josh Cantrell, retired Army, runs a financial strategy firm, and he can get you up to speed on getting your finances in order. He's been on the show many times. Check him out, MBMT Financial. Check out amfilife.com, American Fidelity Life Insurance. Just had the VP, Executive Vice President, on the show this past week. So talked a little bit about the lineage, talked a little bit about what they do, about life insurance and how important it is for vets and active duty service members. So definitely check out amfilife.com. And who else? I think we're good. Let me see.
Oops, sorry.
All good. I told this Air Force veteran about the Green Law Book. Awesome, man. I truly appreciate you getting the word out. We do a coffee and camaraderie each last Saturday of the month in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, for vets and families. Welcome. All right. Right on, man. Right on. You ever thought about streaming those things? Those Veterans and Coffee meetups? That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Videos, board games are there too. Yes. I like that. So yeah, with that, John, I don't want to keep you, man. I know you got to call the wife and all that good stuff. I know you got things you got going on. Yep. I could stay here a little bit longer, but I also have things going on too. I always mention that nobody tells you about it, but when you sign up for your GI Bill and to use your GI Bill or VRNE, the one thing, it's all fun and games until you actually have to go into class. That's the one thing they don't tell you about it. You actually have to do classwork and homework, right? So the fun has begun. Before we go, I'm just reading this here. Would it be good to start a YouTube channel discussing PFAS and veterans? Remind me, what is PFAS? Remind me, please. I'm drawing a blank here.
Good to see you too, Brian. Yeah.
Yeah, good to see you, Brian.
Homebody, Miss Katie, if you want to drop a link, you can drop a link in the chat there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Forever Chemicals, yeah. So, John, I don't want to keep you, man. If you got to take off, I can answer some of these questions, man.
No, it's all good. I was going to say to Tony, I mean, if you don't want to start a YouTube channel and you want to discuss something very specific in PFAS, which I also don't know what the acronym stands for, it sounds like it's an Air Force related acronym. We would love to facilitate for you. If you record the stuff, you can give it to us and we can post it and create a separate video kind of folder for it. If you do that, and you don't want to go through all the nonsense of putting together a YouTube channel, we're happy to facilitate that for you as well if you want.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, you know what? I think I have the settings turned off for the link. Let me see if I can do something with these settings here.
Sorry.
Moderation, reactions, pop-out chat, community moderation. Let me see if it'll let me do something on here.
ET presenters, Frederick. I'll see if I can find it. ET presenters, Frederick. ET. There's Frederick. That should be like Frick VA, maybe. Frederick, Maryland. Species Theater Project.
I'm doing all this on live. Oh, here we go. Maybe permissions, manage permissions. No, add, upload. I'm trying to help you out here, homebody Miss Katie. I promise. Oh man, where is it? Where is it? I'll get this. I'll figure this out. You would think I would know YouTube a little bit more. You would think I would know how to navigate this stuff a little bit better, but I really never have to go into the settings here. Comments on, username, channel guidelines. Oh, here we go. Let me unlink that. Okay, homebody Miss Katie. Go ahead and try sharing it now. I just turned off the restriction for links. So there you go. Tony Slaughter, more veterans need to know. How do I get on your channel? I can tell you what I know. Okay. Well, we can do it. So this Sunday, I will just post the link up on the chat. So come on this Sunday. I'll post the link up on the chat. You can jump on. We'll talk for 5-10 minutes about what you got, and yeah, you can share what you know. I would say that if you're starting a YouTube channel, if you want to keep the conversations going, and you want to make sure you have new content every week, it would have to be something that maybe you're very passionate about, or you can speak long-term about. If it's just something like one video that you want to get out there, I suppose you can start a YouTube channel for that. But you know, the idea behind the YouTube channels is continually updating in order to get in front of a lot of people in that audience.
What's going off?
Oh,
exposures and health concerns.
It's no, that was my time. It's time to moisturize. I got to put the lotion on the skin. But by all means, Tony Slaughter, start a YouTube channel, man. I'm a big advocate for vets to start podcasts and YouTube channels. I fully support that. I fully believe that we all have a story to tell, and we don't know if one person doesn't share it, you know. So you could have some information that nobody else really knows about. So please share it, and feel free to use our platform for that as well to get the word out to the masses. Brian Hans says, Vic, it's the YouTube setting button next to the picture of the red crayon. What the hell are you talking about? This fucking guy. No wonder I was over here biting my screen. I just saw a red crayon.
All right, Katie, let me know if this is the right link or not. Hopefully it is. It looks like it is. I'm pretty good with the Googles. So.
Go for exposures. Health concerns. Okay.
I think that's it.
Shadiak.
Yeah. Hey, Tony. I mean, like I said, if you want to put together the material, the information, if you don't want to get on camera, or you do want to get on camera, if you want to record it, you don't want to record it, you know, you can record it and then send it up, or again, start a YouTube channel if you want to sit down and figure out how to put a YouTube channel together yourself. We're both available at various random times. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. What's up? Squirrel?
I hear a vacuum. I hear a vacuum.
Oh,
perfect.
No, good. Yeah, Homebody Muschetti, thank you for sharing that, and John, thank you for posting that link there. Truly appreciate it, man.
No worries.
Yeah, Tony Slaughter, man. Sunday. Well, I'm going to be on Sunday. John will be out of pocket. He'll be doing some traveling. As always, the show must go on. So Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific time will be the time that I'll be on. Yeah, as long as you come on, and I'll give you a platform. I will share the link, and then you'll be able to jump on for a few minutes and talk about what you got to talk about.
All good.
Let's get an organized group of people to run tests and such. Okay. Well, I mean, no. Are you going to be running tests on the live stream, dude?
testing. Yeah, I think I understand what he's saying. But yeah, you're surrounded by people who can help out. Navy is also a great resource for putting things together and making things happen as well when he's got the time. That's
absolutely. And I will say, put it on your calendars, though. Put it on your notifications. Subscribe to the channels, both the Military Retirement Podcast and the Green Logbook. Make sure after you subscribe, turn on notifications to get notification when we're going to be on. Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific time for the Military Retirement Podcast, streaming on the Green Logbook as well, and Facebook, LinkedIn, all these other channels. And Monday, I will be on a live stream with Dr. Sharma. So you all may know him as he runs a veteran YouTube channel called Concise Psych. Concise Psych. I will be on a live stream with him on Monday at, I would say, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m., 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Talking about veteran stuff, talking about our YouTube channels, talking about behaviors, mental health, all this good stuff. This man is an Air Force veteran, psychologist, and he also is an expert in DBQs. So bring your questions, come along for the conversation, and share some coffee with us. Did I miss a bunch of comments? What are these people talking about?
Yeah. We're having some banter, which is a good thing.
I took a blip. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I like. He just gave me a call today. We got on the phone a little bit and talked about what we're going to talk about. So good stuff. He's going to be doing the thumbnail. So I'm like, hey, your thumbnail looks cooler than mine. Do the thumbnail. He gave me some insight on what he does and his whole process. So it's always fun to connect with another YouTuber and see what they're about and how their battle rhythm looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. And form on Veterans Day. Okay. What the Brian Hunt, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, bro? No colonoscopy. Look, Brian, man, if you want us to live stream your upcoming colonoscopy, I'm going to have to turn that down, buddy. I can't do that. I know that's kind of a roundabout way of you asking if you can, but I can't do it, man.
No, no matter how nicely you ask.
Yeah, either that or you're no colonoscopies and no vasectomies on the live stream. I'm sorry, man.
All good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right, John, man. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We had a good time today. I had a good time. I don't know if you had one, John. I'm sure you did.
Amazing.
Yeah. So always good and great to actually connect with you, John, on non-Sunday day. So what better day than a Friday, right? Everybody's
at a regular time. That's a common time.
At a regular time, right? Like I don't have to.
Same time zone.
I'm not just. wiping the crust off my eyes in the morning and stuff like that. You're not just you're in your pajamas, live streaming, getting ready for bed.
Chilling.
Yeah, man. So no, all good, man. Truly appreciate you coming on and taking time out of your day, of course. And everybody in the comments, man, thank you for coming by. Brian Hahn, I see you. Homebody Miss Katie, thank you for stopping by. Tony Slaughter. Let me see who we got. Green Lava. I'm calling myself out here. I just
the green name. Book, man. Love to have you.
Elfish Haven, Tony Slaughter. Let me see. I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of people. I'm going up.
660
Oliver
Love.
Russ, man. 660 Love. Everybody who joined us here.
Navy Cop for a few minutes.
Navy Cop, Sergeant Stack, and ID. Thank you for the questions. Mo Perspective, always welcome.
Oliver Russ.
Reading York. Yeah. So all the folks, if we missed you, we're sorry. Adel Moser, if we missed you, we're sorry. Thank you for joining us. Is an ACE exam something to fret about? Are you fretting about it? I don't know. What is an ACE exam?
Don't stress. It's just an exam.
Yeah. You'll pass.
You'll be all right.
All right. With that, thank you all for hanging out with us on all the channels, Military Retirement Podcast, the Green Logbook, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the good places. Thank you all for hanging out with us today. With that,
thanks for all your great questions and comments out here.